Hey, how's it going, everybody? Today we are looking at a prototype of Fans Toys Phoenix, aka Skyfire. He is so big that I actually have to hold the camera while I do this look at. So, yeah, let's get into it because he is amazing. He is gigantic. I'm going to pull back as far as I can with my camera. There you go. You can see his incredible height. Even when I put the camera down, you're looking up at this bad boy. So let's do the first things that everybody wants to see is how tall actually he is. You can't really tell the sheer magnitude of his size without some comparisons. So let's just get them in here. Here's a prime. And don't worry, I'll pick up the camera again so we can just pull back and take a look. Here's an itty bitty bumblebee. And his old friend Starscream we'll put on the over here too. And there goes the camera. And we'll pull back. Look at that. Look at how big this guy is. He is ginormous. And you can see a little bit of my house in the background. But who cares? You are not looking at that. You are looking at this beautiful, absolutely beautiful piece. Alright, so let's get these other guys out of the way. You can see how tiny Bumblebee is right there. Look at that. He's little. Alright. Prime. Starscream. And Bumblebee. Alright, let's start at the head and work our way around. Alright, so let's look at this guy. He comes with two different eyes. These are the painted eyes that are in him. He does also come with some light-piped eyes. Let me see if I have... Oh, here's the bag of parts over here. So, he comes with some light-piped eyes. I'm going to try to pull them out. So there is the light-piping eyes. There you go. I tried them off camera. You have to unscrew. Swing around back here. You have to unscrew both screws in the back. And all honesty, I tried it and it didn't work very well because you see that giant blue piece in the middle, that fin piece, is a solid piece. So to actually get light to go through his eyes, you'd actually have to have a light back here. And with the backpack, that's not happening. So if you want light piping in this figure, I think you're going to be disappointed. I personally don't like it. I never have liked light piping. I like painted eyes. I think it works because if you don't have a light source, you still see the eyes. Okay, you can see in the top of his forehead is the memory module. Nice little nod to his G1 model. Good and bad. It's nice that they added that little piece there, but it's also bad because it's always there. There's no panel to cover it. I think that they should have made it a little bit recessed and made it so you can put a little panel there to cover it over. Maybe, this is the prototype, so maybe, just maybe, they'll add a piece to put there so it covers it up. But it's a nice little nod. We'll go down to his chest now. You can see that they have a swappable chest plate. I'm assuming for Autobot and Decepticon. These look identical, the ones that came with it. So I'm hoping that there's probably one that's a little bit more narrow, that's a little bit more pointed for the Decepticon symbol. If not, at least they give you the ability to swap without having to worry about stickers. You can have it with and without, or you can have one plain, and they should have had a third piece that would be completely flush. So if you wanted it to be, so you didn't want to have that little divot there, put the flush piece in, and you can always pop it out from the back. Alright. Cockpit, nice chromed inside. I'm going to put down the camera for a second here because you can open the cockpit, and I'm sure I could open it while he's transformed, but let's see if I can open it now. Yep, there you go. So that pops open. I don't have any Microman to see if they would fit in there or not, but you always give it a whirl. Alright, so let's pull back a little bit and take a look at him. So what can I tell you about the differences between him? They made this angular here, which isn't Slave 1 to the cartoon. Fans Toys is not known for making characters that look identical to the cartoon. I think that if you wanted that, you should go with Bad Toy, or actually Takara is starting to go that route, where everything is very flat, no detail. So if you're looking for exactly from the cartoon, this isn't it. But you know what? I don't think you're ever going to get Jetfire, or not Jetfire, oh my god, Skyfire. That's going to be this incredible. He is magnificent. He is what you always wanted as a toy when you saw him in the cartoon. Everything's plain red except for here down on the side. It's like almost a chromed red, and that's because it's made of metal. It's not plastic. This is metal, so it's weight. What else is die-cast metal? I'm trying to feel around. The easiest way to feel for die-cast metal is to actually just touch for it. The back of the legs, the feet are definitely made of metal. Alright, so let's look a little bit at the articulation. We'll start with the hands because that's pretty easy. I love what they did with the hands. Even though you can see the pins, excuse me, as long as you can see the pins, I really don't care because you know what? These suckers aren't going to pop off. You can see that they're nicely articulated. You can move them around. You can play with these all day long, and they are not going anywhere. So to me, I'd rather see these nice little silver pins than be playing with this guy and poof, there goes a digit. And then you got to try to go find it. You could lose it. This, I think, is the smart way to go. And I can see there's a slot there because obviously he's going to come with his iconic gun. So we'll slap that in there. If you notice, there's a nice little bump there. I'm all froggy today. Sorry about that. You can see there's a little divot there as well. So let's put that in there. So you gotta line up perfectly. It's not like you can just slot it in there. And you want to curl that finger in there so you can get it right on the trigger. Curl that bad boy up like that. Tuck that finger down there. Alright, so it doesn't stick perfectly. It's not a tight fit. You know, sometimes when you put a gun in and like it feels like you can never get it back out. This has a little bit of give to it. And I'm sure that it's probably just a little tolerance issue. I don't think that you're going to be worried about it falling out of his hand. Once you have it in there, I think you'll be okay. This guy has been played with a lot. He's gone through one reviewer already. He went to a toy show. He's been around the block. Alright, so you're wondering if you can, oh, there it goes. You can get the pose with the gun. I did do it earlier off camera. I know, you're just seeing my hands and stuff like that. Yeah, he's a beast, and that's the problem with, like, I don't really review big toys. So camera-wise and setup-wise, this is a bitch. Yeah, but you guys don't fucking care about that, right? Right. Alright, let's keep going with this. There goes the hand. Can he get his other hand underneath for a nice barrel pose? He can do it. There you go. So if you want to see if he can actually put both hands in front, you got it. So I am biased. I loved Jetfire as a kid. I always wanted a toy of him. I always felt like, why do I keep saying Jetfire? Because this is what happened. You always wanted Skyfire, and what you got was Jetfire. And everybody loved Jetfire, but he wasn't Skyfire. He wasn't this guy. He wasn't this beautiful character that they had in the cartoon. They never had Jetfire in the cartoon. They had Skyfire. And every kid wanted a Skyfire. They wanted that jet for the Autobots. They wanted this awesome, powerful character. And Fans Toys is delivering. This is, I think, as close as you're ever going to get to a Skyfire figure that is what you want. So, yeah, he's amazing. He is absolutely incredibly amazing. You can pose him a lot. There's ratchets everywhere. It's hard for me to do this, but like, here we go. Ratchets here, in the elbow, spinning. Yep, there went his gun. In the wrist. He has crazy articulation for a big guy. There is no waist articulation. Nice ratchet joints. Since he's such a big bot, they put in all these nice, beautiful, clicky ratchet joints because you need them. You need them with a guy this your size, this weight. He is heavy. I love the little red here with the gears. I'll zoom in so you guys can see that. clear red plastic there, so you can see some like gears underneath. That's just like, that's Fans Toys doing their little bit of style to it. Because if not, it's just gonna be plain red. It's gonna be looking boring. So they just do those little add things, like little rivets, little notches when they can, where they can. Yeah, he is. I can't get over it, you know. And I am biased. I love Fans Toys. 99% of their toys I buy. So I'm not gonna hide the fact that I love their stuff. So I'm totally geeking out if that's okay with you guys. All right. So one of the things that I do believe, since this is a prototype, one of the things that they are fixing is that the wings out here and out here swing very freely. I do believe they're trying to figure out a way to kind of either peg it in or have a little tab or something. I would just hope that there's increased attention, because I don't want this messed up with like a notch. Oop, let me get some kind of a little notch or a little peg here. Actually, I just hope that they just either A, leave it be, or B, just try to figure out a way to make this a little bit more stronger so that it stays put when you pick it up. But let's be realistic here. You're gonna have him standing up. You're not gonna have him hanging like this. And people might think, oh, well, that's flimsy, that if this comes freely loose. But really, are you gonna be doing this to your toy constantly? No, you're gonna have him standing up. You're gonna have him in a pose. So if that comes free, I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me, but I like it clean. I like it clean on the wings. So there you go. This is what you get to see. This is it. I am going to transform him. I will transform him off camera, because as you can see, I don't have that much space as where I am right now. And trying to transform him and be on camera at the same time with the camera in between is just not something I can do. There are plenty of reviewers out there that do transform on camera. Bobby Skullface, for example. So if you want to check that out, I strongly endorse that. But remember, you know, when you get your own, you're going to have instructions. So this guy does not come with instructions. You just have to remember that whenever a reviewer gets a prototype, they don't have instructions. So they're just guessing as to how to transform him and interpreting. And I have not dealt with enough prototypes to just guess how to transform him. So I'll be watching somebody else's review that they've already posted to see how to transform this bad boy. And I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. I'm back. You guys, it's just a second or two. And he is transformed. He was not that difficult. Thank you very much, Bobby Skullface. I followed his review. Oh, let's get these little wings up here. I followed his review, which I will put a link in the description, because give credit where credit's due. Without his review, I would have been dealing with this thing for quite some time. This guy is gigantic. He also has landing gear, which actually rolls. So there was a table, but you can see the wheels. He is gigantic. He's beautiful. I don't think that they could have done a better job, considering, you have to think about what they're dealing with, how they're trying to make this look cartoon accurate and toy accurate as best the toy would be to represent him. To give you an idea, I'll bring back in Bumblebee, so you can see how big this guy is. There's no way that they could get the proportions that he was doing in the cartoon, where he had the guys like inside of him. But beautiful piece, absolutely beautiful. And you can see that metal engines on the side there too. I've heard complaints that people don't like this red. Maybe they all should be red that color, or maybe this should be changed to match this. But this is metal. From what it feels like, that's metal. So I don't know if I think it looks nice that way. It really doesn't bother me that it's a different color. If that's the biggest nitpick, well, what can you do? Some spots of transformation were a little bit scary. Definitely in the hips. The hips are trying to get the hips separated, because they tab out and then they tab back in higher up, and they were not pleasant to do. It's a little scary. But nothing broke. Nothing broke in during the transformation. Nothing was really that bad. I think if you transformed him 2 or 3 or 4 times, I think you'd have it down packed. It's not one of those transformations where you're gonna have to go back to the instructions constantly. I think once you do it a couple of times, I think you'll have it, and you'll be happy to do it. Show off to all your friends. So, all right. So let's just put the camera down because I'm sure you guys are getting seasick. Is he worth it? Fucking yes. Come on. You know I was gonna say yes before this review. Halfway through this review, you're like, this guy fucking loves this guy. Loves this thing. Yeah, I do. I absolutely love it. I think that Fans Toys knocked it out of the park with this. Boom be on top, just chilling. Yeah. So I think they hit it out of the park. I think that they can make a couple of changes here and there. I don't think they need to change much. I think people will be happy with this. I don't see anybody complaining. They showed off a silhouette almost 3 or 4 years ago, and he's finally coming to fruition. It's probably about a month or 2 out, depending on how long it takes them to make the tweaks that they want to make. I think they're going to be adding a couple of extra features or bonus items, like an extra faceplate or a battle mask, a la the Hasbro's Generations Jetfire that they did. So he retails for approximately $190 to $220. I think I've seen places selling for. Try to find them cheaper, obviously. Duh. Is he worth it? Is he worth $200? It's a big bill. But if you've ever wanted this character, this is what you're going to go with. This is what you're going to get. You're only going to need one. Sell off all those Generation Toy Jetfires that try to look like Skyfire. This is it. This is the toy you want. This is the toy you've been waiting for, if you've been waiting for it. If you ever watched a G1 cartoon and you love this character, this is where it's at. This is it. I didn't show off the gun very closely. I'm looking over at the side of it. So I'll show that off real quick so you can see it. It is a classic gun that he has, the double barrel. Ginormous. Absolutely gorgeous. I wish I could keep him, but he is off to somebody else. Yeah, that's right. I'm packing this sucker right back up, and he is going out in the mail today. Those come off. These come off. I didn't break it. These come off. Better for shipping. He gets shipped in his robot mode, so I'll be putting this guy back in robot mode, probably off camera. Do a little folding here and there. Folding there. There is this gap because this actually collapses back into itself. So you can see that there's a little divot here, but you can deal with that. Alright guys, so I'm out. Hope you like this. Sorry for all the shaky cam. But when you have a bot this big, you just got to go hands-free. You can't just have a static camera. And when you guys see him in person, you guys are going to flip. In case you're wondering how big is he, and if you have a DTOF, the IKEA DTOF, which a lot of people use for displays, he will fit. He will barely fit, but he will fit. He will skim the top. So that's good news. But if you want to, if you really want to gauge how big he is, standing straight up and down, he will barely fit into your DTOF. He will fit, but it will be close. So that's your final word of advice and final idea as to how big this guy actually is. And I hope everybody who gets him enjoys him as much as I enjoyed looking at this prototype. I'm out.